Christmas Nightmares, 3 True Horror Stories. Christmas Morning in America. While millions wake to the smell of pine and the sound of carols, there are those who wake to something else entirely. Their Christmas stories don't end with joyful family photos. They end with police reports, trauma therapists, and questions that will never be answered. These are 3 such stories, each one documented, each one verified. Each one happened on Christmas Day. Incident 1. The Ohio Christmas Watcher. December 25, 2017. The Miller family home in suburban Columbus, Ohio. A typical 2-story colonial house with white siding and black shutters. A perfect Christmas scene, snow on the ground, lights on the roof, a wreath on the red front door. Inside, the Miller family, David, 42, Sarah, 39, their children, Emily, 8, and Jacob, 6, are celebrating their first Christmas in the new house. Sarah Miller was an avid documentarian. She filmed everything: school plays, birthdays, holidays. Christmas 2017 was no different. She set up her Canon camera on a tripod in the living room, angled to capture the entire space: the 9-foot Christmas tree, the fireplace with stockings, the bay window overlooking the backyard. The camera started recording at 6:45 a.m. and would continue until the battery died around 1:30 p.m. The footage begins normally. The children run downstairs at 7:03 a.m. There's excitement, laughter, wrapping paper flying. David makes pancakes. They open gifts. At 8:17 a.m., Emily receives the American Girl doll she wanted. At 9:42 a.m., Jacob plays with his new remote control car. Everything appears perfectly normal, until you watch carefully. At 10:33 a.m., the camera catches something in the bay window. Not outside the window, reflected in the glass. A figure standing in the doorway that leads to the kitchen. Tall, slender, wearing what appears to be a dark coat. The figure isn't moving, just standing there watching. The family doesn't notice. They're focused on presents. The figure appears again at 11:07:12, and this time reflected in the glass. Ornament of a Christmas ball hanging from the tree. Distorted but unmistakable. A face, pale, eyes dark, watching from the hallway now. The third appearance is the most chilling. At 12:47 p.m., Sarah pans the camera to film David building a toy. As she sweeps past the staircase, something is visible on the upper landing. A leg, just a leg from knee down in dark trousers, standing perfectly still. When Sarah pans back a second later, it's gone. The family notices nothing unusual during the day. It's only when Sarah reviews the footage on December 26th that she sees it. All of it. She calls David into the home office. Together they watch. They freeze frame, they zoom. They count 13 separate appearances of the figure throughout the 6-hour recording. Always watching, never interacting, just observing their Christmas. David calls the police. Officers arrive. They watch the footage. They're visibly unsettled. One officer, Sergeant Mitchell, later wrote in his report, "Footage shows unidentified individuals inside residence without occupants' knowledge or consent. No signs of forced entry, no items missing. Occupants fearful for safety. The police search the house thoroughly. They find nothing. No fingerprints that don't belong. No evidence of entry. But in the attic, they find something odd. A single Christmas ornament, old and dusty, hanging from a rafter. It wasn't there when they moved in. It depicts a snowman with coal eyes that appear to be looking directly at you. The Millers install a security system. They get a dog. They try to move on. Christmas 2018. They decide to film again. Not for memories this time, for evidence. They set up 4 cameras this time. Living room, kitchen, hallway, children's room upstairs. They're nervous but determined. The footage from Christmas 2018 is worse. At 3:14 a.m., the hallway camera motion sensor activates. The figure is there, standing at the children's bedroom door, not trying to enter, just standing for 17 minutes. Then it turns slowly and looks directly at the camera. The face is blurred, pixelated somehow, as if the camera can't properly focus on it. It walks toward the camera. The feed cuts out. When it comes back, the figure is gone. But on the floor in front of the camera, A single fresh pine needle. There are no pine trees in or near the house. The living room camera catches something at 7:22 a.m. As the family opens gifts, a shadow moves across the wall behind them, not cast by anyone in the room. Moving independently, shaped like a tall man, the Millers move out in January 2019. They sell the house at a significant loss. The new owners, the Chen family, experience nothing unusual for 11 months. Until Christmas 2019. Mrs. Chen is baking cookies on Christmas Eve when she hears footsteps upstairs. Her husband is at work. Her children are with her in the kitchen. She calls out. No answer. She investigates, finds nothing. But in her daughter's room, on the pillow, 3 pine needles arranged in a triangle. Christmas morning, their security camera pointed at the backyard to watch for package thieves capture something at 5:47 a.m. A figure standing in the snow-covered yard, facing the house, not moving for 33 minutes. Then it simply isn't there anymore. No footprints leading to or from where it stood. The Chens move out 6 months later. The house stands empty now. The real estate listing says quirky holiday history. Neighbors report that every December lights can be seen moving from room to room inside, though the house has no electricity connected. And every Christmas morning at precisely 7:03 a.m., the time the Miller children first ran downstairs in 2017, the front porch light flickers 3 times. Former resident Sarah Miller was interviewed in 2022. She said, "We didn't just see it on camera, we felt it. There were times, especially in December, when you'd feel like someone was standing right behind you. You'd turn and nothing was there. But the feeling remained. Christmas used to be my favorite holiday. Now I just want December to be over." The house remains unsold. The local police department checks on it every Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Officer Ramirez, who now has the duty, says, "I don't believe in ghosts, but I believe in being careful. And something about that house, it doesn't feel empty even when it is." Incident 2. The Nevada Christmas Highway. Interstate 80 stretches across northern Nevada, a ribbon of asphalt through some of America's most desolate landscape. On Christmas Day 2015, this highway became the setting for a horror story that still haunts long-haul truckers. Thomas Big Tom Henderson, 54, was driving his Peterbilt 389 from Salt Lake City to Reno. He'd been on the road since 4 a.m., wanting to make it to a truck stop by noon to call his family. Christmas was hard since his divorce. The road was his escape. At approximately 9:17 a.m., about 60 miles east of Elko, Tom saw something in his headlights. A woman standing by the side of the highway, in a white dress. On Christmas morning, in below freezing temperatures. Tom was a good man. He pulled over. In his later statement to Nevada Highway Patrol, he described her. Late 20s maybe, pretty, dark hair. White dress like a wedding dress but torn at the bottom. No coat, no shoes, just standing there in the snow, barefoot. She said her name was Annalise. Her car had broken down miles back. She'd been walking for hours. Tom offered her his satellite phone to call for help. She declined. She just wanted a ride to the next town. Here's where Tom's dashcam footage becomes critical evidence. The camera shows him opening the passenger door. The woman, Annalise, climbs in. She's visibly cold, shivering. Tom gives her his extra jacket. She thanks him but doesn't put it on. Just holds it. For the first 20 minutes, they make small talk. She says she's from Portland, visiting family for Christmas. Car trouble, standard stuff. At 9:48 a.m., Tom asks if she wants to call anyone. She says no. Then she says something odd. "Do you believe people get what they deserve on Christmas?" Tom, trying to be polite, says something about the spirit of the season. She looks at him, and on the dash cam, you can see her face clearly for the first time. Her eyes are wrong. Not the color. The expression, empty, like looking at a mannequin. "Christmas is when all accounts are settled," she says. "Debts paid. Promises kept." Tom grows uneasy. He mentions there's a truck stop in about 30 miles. He can drop her there. She smiles. It doesn't reach her eyes. I'll be gone before then. At 10:03 a.m., Tom's CB radio crackles to life. A voice comes through. Distorted but understandable. Eastbound Peterbilt, be advised. Passenger description matches missing persons report. Do not engage. Repeat, do not engage. Tom glances at Annalise. She's staring straight ahead. Doesn't seem to have heard. He keys his mic quietly. Can you repeat? This is eastbound Peterbilt. The voice returns more urgent. Female passenger, white dress, barefoot. Reported dangerous. Multiple sightings. Do not stop. Do not engage. Tom's blood runs cold. He looks at Annalise. She's now looking at him, smiling that empty smile. You hear them too? She asks. The voices on the wind? Tom decides to pull over at the next wide spot. Get her out of his truck. But there's nothing for miles. Just highway and snow and sagebrush. At 10:17 a.m., Annalise says, my turnoff is coming up. There are no turnoffs. Not for another 40 miles. There, she says, pointing at nothing. Right there. Tom slows. Ma'am, there's nothing there. Stop the truck. Something in her voice makes him comply. He pulls onto the shoulder. The dashcam shows empty highway in both directions. Snow falling. No other vehicles. Annalise opens the door. Cold air rushes in. She turns to Tom. Thank you for the ride. You're a good man. Not like the others. She steps out into the snow, barefoot in a torn wedding dress. Tom watches her walk away from the highway. Into the desert. No road, no path. Just into the emptiness. He waits, concerned. He can't just leave her out there. After 3 minutes, he gets out. Calls after her. No answer. He follows her footprints in the snow. They lead about 50 yards from the highway. Then they just stop as if she vanished. No more footprints. No sign of her. Tom returns to his truck, shaken. He calls 911. When highway patrol arrives, they find Tom sitting in his cab, pale and trembling. They search the area, find the footprints, confirm they stop abruptly. No other tracks. No signs of struggle. They run Annalise's description. It matches 3 separate missing persons reports over 15 years. 1. Annalise Carter, 28, disappeared from a Reno wedding chapel on December 23, 2000. Last seen in her wedding dress. 2. Annalise Rodriguez, 26, vanished from a truck stop near Elko on December 24, 2007. Was wearing a white dress when last seen. 3. Annalise Miller, 29, disappeared from her car on I-80 on December 25, 2012. Car found running, door open, no signs of struggle. All named Annalise. All around the same age. All around Christmas. All wearing white. Tom Henderson never drove again. He sold his truck. Moved in with his sister in Boise. He still has nightmares. He told investigators she wasn't human. I know how that sounds, but when she looked at me, it was like looking at something that forgot how to be human, something wearing human skin badly. The stretch of I-80, where this happened, has seen 7 similar incidents since 2015. Always around Christmas, always a woman in white. Always hitchhiking, always vanishing. Truckers now call it Annalise's stretch. Many refuse to. Drive it between December 20th and 27th. Those who do report strange occurrences. CB radios picking up whispers and feminine voices, shadowy figures by the roadside that disappear when approached, and sometimes in the dead of night, the sound of bare feet running alongside the truck. Nevada Highway Patrol has an unofficial policy. If they receive a report of a hitchhiker in a white dress on I-80 during Christmas week, 2 units respond. Always 2, and they never get out of their vehicles alone. Incident 3, the Florida Christmas Carolers. Coral Gables, Florida, an affluent suburb of Miami. December 25th, 2019. The Sanchez family, Maria, 45, Carlos, 48, their teenage daughters, Isabella, 17, and Sophia, 15, are hosting Christmas dinner. Relatives from out of town, friends, about 20 people in total. The party is in full swing by 8 p.m. Music, Laughter. The smell of roasted pork and rum cake. The doors to the patio are open because Florida Decembers are mild. At 8:47 p.m., Isabella hears singing outside. Christmas carols. A group of voices harmonizing beautifully. She goes to the patio, looks out into the backyard, sees a group of 6 people standing in a semicircle near the pool, dressed in what appears to be vintage clothing, styles from the 1940s or 50s, the men in suits, the women in dresses with gloves. They're singing Silent Night in perfect harmony. Isabella calls her family. Everyone comes out to listen. The carolers are good, remarkably good. Professional quality. They finish Silent Night, begin O Holy Night. Maria Sanchez, being a gracious host, calls out, "You're wonderful. Would you like to come in? Have some food?" The carolers stop singing simultaneously. As if on cue, they turn their heads in unison toward Maria. Their movements are synchronized, unnaturally smooth. The lead caroler, a man in a gray suit, smiles. "Thank you for the invitation, but we cannot enter unless invited by name." Maria, thinking this is part of some Christmas performance, laughs. "Well then, I invite you." "All of you?" The carolers don't move. "By name," the man repeats. His smile doesn't change. "You must invite us by our names." Carlos, Maria's husband, grows uncomfortable. Something feels off. "Who are you?" he asks. "We are the Christmas choir," the man says. "We've been singing for many Christmases." He takes a step forward. The others follow, still perfectly synchronized. Isabella, who's been filming on her phone, zooms in. Later analysis of her video would reveal something disturbing. The carolers aren't breathing. Their chests don't rise and fall. And their eyes? They're too still, not blinking normally. Sophia, the younger daughter, whispers, "Mom, I'm scared." Maria feels it too now. The wrongness. "I think you should leave," she says firmly. The carolers stop smiling, all at once. Their faces go blank. "But you invited us," the lead caroler says. "You said all of you." Carlos steps forward. "Get off my property now." The carolers don't move. They just stand there staring. Then slowly they begin singing again. But the song has changed. It's still O Holy Night, but the words are different. Twisted. O holy night, the stars are brightly bleeding. It is the night of our dear Savior's feeding. Long lay the world in sin and error screaming, till he appeared and the soul felt it screaming. Their voices are no longer beautiful. They're discordant. Painful to hear. Family members start backing into the house. Carlos goes inside to call the police. Isabella keeps filming. The video shows the carolers beginning to walk toward the house. Not fast, not threatening, just walking. Still singing their twisted carol. They reach the patio. Stop at the threshold. The lead caroler looks at Maria. "You invited us in. We accept." He steps over the threshold. And that's when the security system alarms. Not the intrusion alarm. The carbon monoxide detector, screaming. Everyone inside stumbles, headaches, nausea. Carlos, on the phone with 911, slumps against the wall. The carolers step inside, all 6 of them. Isabella's phone falls from her hand. The video continues recording, pointed at the ceiling. Audio picks up the carolers singing, closer now. And another sound, gasping, choking. Then a new voice, female, sweet, singing a lullaby. Then silence. The 911 call lasts 14 minutes. Dispatchers hear the singing, the choking sounds, then nothing. Police and paramedics arrive 8 minutes after the call drops. They find all 20 people inside unconscious. Not dead, unconscious, vital signs weak but present. The carolers are gone. No sign of them. Everyone recovers physically, but mentally, Maria Sanchez no longer speaks. She sits and stares. Doctors diagnose catatonia. Carlos has nightmares every night. He says the same thing upon waking. They're still singing. Isabella and Sophia were the least affected physically but most affected mentally. Isabella deleted the video from her phone, but it had already uploaded to cloud storage. Police recovered it. It's now evidence in an open and very strange case. The toxicology reports showed extremely high levels of carbon monoxide in everyone's blood, but the source never found. The furnace was fine. No gas leaks. Windows had been open. But here's what makes this case truly terrifying. 6 months later, in June 2020, the Sanchez family moved to Orlando. Fresh start. Christmas 2020, they decide to have a small gathering. Just immediate family. No big party. December 24th, 2020, 8:47 p.m. exactly. The doorbell rings. Isabella answers. 6 people stand on the porch, dressed in 1940s clothing, smiling. The lead caroler, the same man, says, "We've come for Christmas. You invited us last year. By name now." Isabella slams the door, calls police. When police arrive, no one is there. But on the porch, 6 pairs of footprints in the dust. Coming up the walkway, none going back. The Sanchez family now spends every Christmas in a hotel. Under different names, they refuse to be in any residence on December 24th or 25th. Coral Gables police have an open but inactive file. The lead detective, in an off-the-record conversation with a journalist, said, "I've been on the force 23 years. I've seen everything. But this, I have no explanation." The video is real. The medical reports are real. And the fact that they found them again after moving, that's the part that keeps me up at night. Local legend now says that if you hear perfect Christmas carolers outside your home, don't invite them in. Don't even acknowledge them. Because once you do, they have permission. And they never really leave. 3 Christmases, 3 families, 3 encounters with something that shouldn't exist. The Miller family still jumps at shadows every December. The Henderson trucker won't go near Nevada. The Sanchez family celebrates Christmas in July now. Police reports exist for all 3 incidents. Medical records, witness statements, evidence that can't be explained away. Christmas is supposed to be about light, about joy, about family. But these stories remind us that the darkest nights often come during the brightest holidays. That sometimes when everyone else is celebrating, something else is watching, waiting, remembering. Perhaps there's a reason so many hauntings happen during Christmas. The veil between worlds thins not just on Halloween, but when emotions run highest. When joy is at its peak, maybe sorrow finds its opening. When families gather, perhaps the lonely dead grow jealous. When lights shine brightest, the shadows deepen. These 3 incidents are not alone. Our research has uncovered 17 similar cases across the United States, all occurring on Christmas Day, all involving entities that seem to be drawn to the holiday, to the emotions, to the traditions. The common thread? Invitation. The Ohio Watcher appeared after the family moved into a new home, an implicit invitation to their lives. The Nevada hitchhiker was invited into the truck. The Florida carolers were invited by name. Perhaps the oldest warnings are the truest. Be careful what you invite into your home, into your life, especially during holidays, because not everything that comes caroling is spreading cheers. Some are settling debts. Some are seeking warmth from a cold existence. And some are just hungry. This Christmas, as you gather loved ones, look twice at the shadows in the corner. Listen carefully to the carolers outside. Think before you offer hospitality. And remember, the most terrifying stories aren't the ones that we make up. These are the ones that really happened. Merry Christmas. Sleep well.